Good morning, everyone. Good afternoon, and perhaps even good evening. Welcome to another exciting episode of the 3D Shenanigans. Looks like we have a full house on a Sunday. This is wonderful. The Goldenrod, Rod Shelley, is back. How exciting. Good to see you, buddy. Habib, yeah, Ground Fog. How exciting. Have a look at it. I'm glad I could help. Thank you for the link, Brian. Brian is here. Tug is here. Nancy is here. The West Coast is super nice and sunny. And Miss Julia is here also. And anyone out there watching, thank you so much. Art, for example. Thank you for the first thumbs up. That's what it's all about. I started yesterday with a little Unreal Engine project that I'm hoping to continue today. And it's all about a little Foggy Bench. And let me just go and see what we can do here. I've actually reinstalled or basically verified Unreal Engine 5.2 this morning because my Foliage cursor was just this gray globe that didn't let me look at things. So if ever you're in that situation where you have material issues or anything else is not working fine, like Julia, for example, she was doing a water scene this morning, or a scene that contained water, and all of a sudden it just stopped working, which is just so uncool. So if ever that happens to you in any of your versions, you just go to this little icon here, that little arrow, and then you say verify, and that'll essentially re-download Unreal Engine and reinstall it, and then usually fix a ton of issues. And that's what happened in my case. So I think we had, what was it called? Foggy Bench? Foggy Bench, there we go. Let me go and load this in, and then we'll see what the scene looks like. My plan today is to add a few more background trees. There's only one line of trees in the background, and animate the sunlight, and also try to animate some of the cloud effects. I might take a look at animating the sun without the time of day. So the time of day is just for the lighting changes, but really the sun is just a fake object that goes in the sky, and I think I can animate that separately. So we'll see how that goes. Website migration is still going on. Rod, I think we talked about this 2 years ago. Was it a year ago, 2 years ago? That's been a long time coming. Crazy stuff. How's the email migration going? Is that still working? Just checking. Thank you, Tug. I appreciate that. Yes, there's so much. This new loop that you've seen, that is basically the labor of the last few weekends in which we've made these 3 new animations, and I've added them in gradually as they came out, and now I'm finally at a point where I can basically bring them all together. And yesterday evening I added the classics to it. So now we have the mixer mode twerking and the mixer animations thing. They're also now in there. Let's see what others I can come up with. This one might be one that might be joining us at some point. Foggy Bench. Let's see what we have. I'm glad you like it. That's really nice to hear. You're so far behind on this stuff. My goodness. How's Jo doing? Hope she's doing well. Good to see you all. Yeah, let's have some fun animating. I'm really enjoying just doodling around and seeing what we can come up with, and getting excited in the process. Oh yeah, also we need to obviously we might need to make it a little bit lighter here, but also we need to replace the bench with something proper. Let's use the game settings for now, so just so that Lumen can do this. Yeah, look at that. Look at that. This is probably what our animation is going to come out as. And this is kind of nighttime. There is actually in Ultra Dynamic Sky, and thanks to Julia actually for bringing this to my attention, there's some other bits and pieces here. There's the README that I should really look into. README file. Oh, you don't do that. You don't double click it because that opens up what he's programmed. So what you actually have to do is right click on this and then say run editor utility widget. And then we have this. So I can go and dock the README up here. I thought, no, I can't do that. What a shame. Oh, new USD start here. Isn't that cool? That is so cool. It's like integrated help implemented as an Unreal Engine widget. That is so cool. Read about weather and basic controls. This is really cool. I haven't looked at this at all. So this is something I need to really read up on. And then there is the mini controls and the configuration manager. Let's see what happens when we run that. Ooh, manage sky or weather configurations. Let's do sky. Oh, I see. This is where we go maybe save things and load presets. That's nice. Very neat. What else we got? We got the volumetric cloud painter. Oh man, I'm looking forward to playing with that. I have no idea how that works. Let's see if we can make it work. Time of day and weather. Oh, that's nice. So we can just go and switch it to cloudy if we wanted that to be cloudy. Mini controls. Super nice. Time of day. Make it 9 o'clock in the morning. There we go. Very nice. So now I don't have to go to the blueprint and type in the numbers, even though, so these things, I suppose they just do this. If I go and pick up ultra dynamic sky, then this is the same as that, isn't it? So if I go and say 12 o'clock, yes. But have I had it as a convenient slider before? No. Now I do. Jo was doing fine. Her birthday is tomorrow. Ooh, that's nice. And you're going to the best steakhouse in KC. I love it. I love it. Good to hear. Good to hear. Very nice. So this is good. Maybe we'll go make it 11 o'clock. And the weather, let's make it clear skies again while we work. So yes, this needs to become a proper bench. And I think I would also like to make some of the lake parts a little bit steeper. But that's just detail work, so I won't worry about that now. My main concern is to get more trees at the back here, just to make them not look so thin. But of course, I'm running out of landscape, so I think the best way for me to do, because I can't extend the landscape if I understand this correctly, I'm just going to go and add a new landscape and attach it to the end of this and just move it in place. Let me see if I can do that. So I'm probably going to add that on a second level so that we have essentially like a background level. So let's go and bring up our levels panel, dock that somewhere sensibly, like, you know, here. That sounds good. And I'll add a brand new level to that. It'll be an empty level, and I'll go and save that into here, like background forest is probably a good BG forest is a great title. So if I'm on a new level, I can make a new landscape object. If I'm on the same level, then I can only, when I go into landscape mode, then it'll just go and edit the existing landscape. But if I'm on a new one, I can have a new foliage layer, and I can also have a new landscape layer. So let's make that happen. Let's try to make that happen. Landscape. And no, that's not how that works. Dang, brother, that's cold. How am I gonna do that then? I'm gonna create myself a new landscape object. That's something I can create from here. Like literally search for landscape object. No, that's not how it works, is it? Might have to just go into a different level altogether and then just attach the same forest level. Let's do that. I think that's a mad idea, just because I can't really work out how it's supposed to work. So new level, basic level. Save that, yeah, we're good. And we're not really doing anything with this. We're just attaching the same level I've just made, BG Forest. And now I go and switch into landscape. And make the same size landscape that I had yesterday with layers enabled. That is correct, Tuck. Yes, it's Ultra Dynamic Sky by Everett Gunther. It's a beautiful lighting system, and it also does weather, so it's really nicely done. Really nicely done. I'm going to just leave that as it is, and I want to know, is this landscape in the current level? It is. Perfect. That's all I needed to know. We can go and save this as kind of a dummy level here. Dummy level, check. And the landscape actor is now on the other level. That's perfect. So I'll go and bring back my Foggy Bench level. And in here I have that. And do I now have the other? No! Dang! It hasn't saved it! Why not? Okay, that's bad, isn't it? Okay, dummy level. Add existing background forest. Check. Lights aren't in here, but we're not concerned. We just don't have anything. So there it is. That is the landscape, isn't it? Maybe it has put it into here, then that is possible. So go move selected actors to level. There we go. Now this is going to be my background landscape. There. Okay, let me go save everything. That's saved it to the other level now. Now if I go to Foggy Bench, now it should come in the way I expect. Sorry, a little bit of a setup headache here. There we go. That's it. This is my much larger landscape that it's a shame it's only there for the background trees. I could just, you know, had I known, I would have made the lake a little bit, I would have made that landscape that we've been working on just as large, but I'd have to completely resculpt it, so I think I might just go and use this thing. Oops. Dude. There we go. Move it a little bit further down here. There, that'll be good. That'll be good. And we are here, so that's where these other trees need to be. We probably also just extend that, so perfect. Material on here doesn't really matter all that much. Now I just need to bring this up in places so that it kind of integrates at the back here. Yeah, we're not going to see it. It's just for more trees that's supposed to come up there. I like it. Okay. Back into landscape mode. Well, save it first and then back into landscape mode. Let's sculpt on this thing. Probably very large brush. And that might be a bit, you know, too strong. I don't think we need it on the sides here, just in the background. And I don't want this to interfere too much, but it'll be a little, it just comes out a little at the end here. That's the plan. Maybe a little smaller. Yeah, like this is perfect. This is exactly what we're looking for here. Exactly like that. Just to build up the density there. Into background like. That's probably enough to just suggest. I like the idea of one fairly large kind of hill. Kind of here. That's good. So that is not all completely flat, so this was a bit much here, but the idea was certainly there, like this. Yes, what's the special? Let's have a look. It's Sapporo Ichiban beef flavored noodles with beef pie and extra vegetable for only $24.99. That's quite the offer, isn't it? Oh yeah, absolutely. The view things, the view landscapes. This is basically what they've turned this into, like on complete steroids, Rod. I agree. So you have these sculpting tools, and then in a moment you'll see some really exciting foliage painting tools. That's also something you're gonna really enjoy. Dual view, Tug, yes, dual view, best to be enjoyed with dual monitors, I'm thinking. Yeah, Unreal Engine is one of those things that on a single monitor is tricky to pull off. We've watched these Corridor Crew art challenges yesterday where they were doing things like watch a Bob Ross episode, and then they have to in real time create in 3D what Bob Ross was doing on a canvas. That was crazy. What a cool idea. I'll use the same landscape material that we have here, so it's that, isn't it? Yeah, perfect. Put that on here. If it's good or not, we'll decide later. Let's go and put some trees in here. Rod, you're going to totally appreciate that. So I think I'm going to do that on the other layer as well while I'm on it. There, let's do that. Yeah, so foliage painting tools. This is really exciting stuff here. So as a separate foliage actor, we'll go grab ourselves some objects with which we want to paint. I'm using the other asset pack I'm using is the Meadow Environment set by what are they called again? They have a good name. Nature Manufacture. That's what they're called. This was free a few years ago, but now you have to pay. But it's well worth it. It's currently discounted, I think, as well. Nope, that's materials. I think we're going to go into meshes and trees. Perhaps we're going to use the trees that we didn't utilize last time. Maybe like, you know, these ones here. I don't mind if they're too many. You can just about see that here. No, it didn't work. Dang. No, it is working. It is working. Is it working? Totally not working. Environment. Foliage. The meshes. Trees, second row. And then do remind me, I want to use these kind of wood piles here at the, probably do I need that many trees? In the beginning there. Maybe I'll go and use these. So you drag those in here, and ideally you just put them in the foliage folder, but you don't have to. Just so that they're separate from the static meshes. Otherwise you have duplicates, and they're sometimes a little tricky to tell apart. There we go. That's nice. Content browser can go. So now we need to see is that going to be, see, there we go. This is my newly compiled brush cursor. That might be a little too dense, but we're seeing what happens here. That's it's almost going good here. Let's go and make that maybe 5. 5 is still too dense. That's still seriously dense, isn't it? It's 0.1. I might leave that though and then just paint with less density. So I'll paint with 0.5 and we get something like that. So this is not bad. I think size-wise we probably want to do some variation here. So scale, I might do that from 1 to 2, so we have larger trees because they're only in the background. And I think that might be almost good. I can probably paint with less density still, or make that density painting density down here a little 0.05 perhaps. And then it's a little bit sparser. Perfect. So then the only other thing I want to adjust is that I don't want them to grow out of the object normal. They don't want to do that. So now they grow all straight up. That's what I want. Okay, perfect. So then I can go and delete everything I've done here. And then paint in my background trees. I was briefly considering just rendering the trees that I have out from here. So this is something I could have done, literally just render this out as a panoramic thing without the landscape, and then just put that as a plane on the back. So that is possible, but Unreal Engine can really handle a ton of that. So we'll just put trees in until we're super happy here. Make it as dense or as undense as we want. I just want to hint at other stuff in the background. Yeah, and I think that works quite nicely. It's almost like now we're missing something here. So I might just bring that landscape up a little bit so that we can put some more trees in there. And I think also more density in the back here. I think that'll be nice. Joe says hi, that's nice. Angry Alien, how you doing, buddy? Good to see you guys, good to see you. And yes, I'm a big fan of Bob's. Bob is my hero. Bob is my hero. Yeah, so if we go and once the trees are here, and you can have as large a brush as you want, you know, just paint as many trees as you need here. The cool thing is now that they're on the landscape, and I do agree, maybe I've done a few too many here, you can go and switch back to the landscaping tool and now make adjustments to the landscape. So if I wanted to make that higher, Unreal Engine adjusts the trees that are currently on the landscape as well. So it does that just dynamically. It's so much fun to do. Yeah, so therefore these guys get a little, you know, get a little higher here. And then thanks to our bookmarking trick, we can always go back to here and check, is this the result we want? So we want something additional here then, don't we? Let's bring that up a bit. Do you know, I've had a really productive day already. What we did yesterday, there were some very interesting segments in there that I'm going to go and grab out as clips, and then I'll make them available as shorter videos here on the channel. And because I've had so much fun, I've also recorded some videos on the DAS to Unreal process. So that's something that I've been meaning to do for a while. And since they've improved the bridges so much, there'll be in the next over the next few weeks, I'll put some more content out, like how to make a DAS character the playable character, how to fix clothing in in Blender. Perfect. So we don't see that. That's good. Now we go back to Foliage and we'll keep painting trees in here. Yeah, there we go. That's what I'm thinking. Nice. So that isn't bad. I think this is looking okay as an overgrown shot. So we see the sun kind of setting from going from here to there, and then the moon comes and, you know, there's like the light is changing. So that's not bad. I still feel there's, I don't know why I can't actually see it from the other side. We need to have more grass on here in the front. For some reason I can perceive there's just no detail there, so I might just go and have another crack at adding more detail around the lake. Not so much the, oops, man, not so much the rocks, but the tall grass here. And some of the shorter grass. I think I wanna do that. And especially here where as we're looking ahead, I thought this is, you wouldn't be able to see it, but I think I can see it, so. We need some wood on the beach. On that's just, yeah, exactly, driftwood. Do remind me of that. Let me just go put that in, actually. You're so right, Alien, because the thing is, I have some, and I've been meaning to put it here just so that I don't forget. Let me go and put this where it needs to be. Was it in Foliage? It wasn't Foliage, wasn't it? The last, yes, these three things here. I think that's what I want to put there. Just so that, man, just so that I don't forget. I don't even know how big they are. There we go. Those types of things. That might look nice once we put that into the right positions. And maybe I can also put those at the in the back there, just so that I don't forget. Those are cool assets that come with this. I don't want to forget that. So this and that. Let me go and duplicate that, and then go over the lake with you all. Because I think we can put some here, I'm thinking. Oh, logs for people to sit on, you mean? Oh, this is gonna be the bench. The bench is gonna be the hero. We don't have that character, the hero yet. Oops. So I could even turn this into foliage actors as well and paint with that. That would be cool. And then we basically don't have to worry about aligning these to the normals and all that. It could just, Unreal Engine could just go and paint that. That might look interesting. But then since I only want to put a few here, so these guys, I'm going to go and move them into their respective positions a little bit later, just so that we remember, hey, this just needs to be here. So think more detail over here. So I'm thinking I'll go back to my other landscape layer. I might call this one main landscape. And then the other one is called the background landscape. So these guys, they can go into new folder. Landscapes. And then we have foliages as well. So this one's my main foliage. And then the other one is the background foliage. And then those guys can also go in a new folder. There. think we're getting organized. Universal controller. What do you mean by that, Tug? Yeah, some things are really elegant in Unreal Engine and other things not so much. But that's also sometimes I find that it's because I don't know how to use them properly. So there are things that they do well, but on a completely different concept. Like, you know, lighting is a great example. Lighting in principle works just like in other 3D apps, but if it's a large level, if you want to switch from day to night, you may have to switch like hundreds of light sources. And there's all kinds of cool tricks that you can use to separate them out and literally isolate lights on a separate level, and then also make multiple adjustments to lights like you can do in Blender. So that's also possible. But sometimes you just want to swap out the mood completely, and you can just add levels to another level and then just isolate actors onto that and reuse them even. Very cool. UVs, well, UVs are, they're basically, the UVs are, they come from the meshes. So you bring in regular static meshes and they have UVs, and the foliage system, that's just something how these meshes are then redistributed, so to say. So under the hood, Unreal Engine turns everything that you paint on a foliage actor, like this one here, say main foliage. If I disable that, everything I've painted is one object. So even though it appears to be multiple trees, it's literally only one object under the hood. So this is the one object that I've made. And if you go back in to that layer and you add and remove stuff, it will still be one mesh. So that's kind of, it's a weird system under the hood, but as an input, it just takes a regular UV mapped mesh and it goes and takes care of the rest. So anything that you have, any regular static mesh can be used inside the foliage system. So hence these tree locks here, I can literally go and drag them in, and then those will just be painted. I think this beach isn't quite steep enough. I want to go make that a bit steeper here. Let me go do that. Let me go and do that. So then we have more of a steep angle going down here. I think I started doing that already yesterday, but it's still fairly flat here on some of the... But we'll see how it goes with the grass. Let me do the grass first. Maybe it's, oops, maybe it's going to be... Maybe it's going to work. So I had yesterday, I had the kind of tall grass here. That's perhaps a little too big. I see it still has trees in there. Now I don't want the trees here. Deselect, just use meadow grass. And that's a little much, so I'm going to go and make that less. Oh yeah, here, so this is the thing now. I think these guys, they don't have to align to the... I see it doesn't quite paint on the slope here. Why don't you do that? I wish they would do that. But no. How do I make that happen? Yeah, so the only thing I know how to as a workaround here is to just make just change the landscape. Align max angle, there we go. Maybe if I make that 60, then no. Dang, that's not it either. Nope, that's not it either. Random pitch angle, is that something we can do? Maybe like, you know, give it 60. Is that? No, that's pitch angle, that's not it. Dang, what a shame. Max ground slope angle. Where did you see that? Perhaps I should, oh, I can't search, I can only search the foliage here, the foliage actors, but not the max ground slope. Align max angle. Where I was. Dang, that's like 20 minutes ago, Brian. Max, I'm totally going to find it. I'm going to max ground slope angle. Align max angle. Ground slope angle. Oh, there we go. That's it. I totally found it. So if we do that, Brian, yes, that's the ticket. You found it. That's totally what I meant. That is exactly what I meant. Perfect. Thanks, Brian. Together, we can do this. So if I now go and do this, that they go up. So don't align to the normal. Yes, perfect. It's also not exactly the right type of foliage I've been meaning to draw with here. Was it this one here? Grass meadow, is that it? I think the ones that I meant were really, really large. Like on the other side here, like these ones. They look like kind of corn. That's kind of my excuse for cattail here. I wish I could... make them a little bit bigger here. I thought maybe it's these ones here. See if that's it. Thank you, Brian. That's good. That's good work. Or maybe they are them. They're just not large enough. Maybe that's what it is. Oops. I meant 1 to 2. Yes, like that. I think that'll work. Yeah, it's a good start. That plus grass. Yeah, I'm surprised that we can make that out from here. But if it's not there, there's something missing. Yeah, that plus grass. I like it. Man, some of these panels, you know. Some of these panels. Was it this? I think that was pretty much that in really dense. I think I had that. And this also just on the landscape and on nothing else. Otherwise, if I do this, it'll start growing grass on top of other bits and pieces. I don't want to do that. So that, and then in even more dense. Yes, good stuff. Ground slope angle, we're going to go back to 60 here so that we can go and paint this close to the ocean. And then I'll have another look at the landscape material itself. So it's, oh, here we need a higher angle, I think. Let's do 90 there. Perfect. Oh, and this we can align to normal. Yeah, that's good. Do we see it? Barely. Barely. Daniel, how's it going? How's it going? AstroTurf. Do you remember? Is that the stuff? Is that like the sand you pour underwater and then it holds its shape underwater? Is that the one? Is that the one, Brian? Save. Good idea. Good idea. Unreal Engine does it for me. I'm chillaxed about it. I always am. Too relaxed about it. Landscape material. Let me see if I can tweak that. So the main landscape, and this is a material instance. And usually it has something like a an override for color. This one doesn't. Dang, why not? Metallic, roughness, ambient occlusion, power. But it doesn't seem to have a kind of a color tint option. That's okay. Maybe we can make it ground overview. Maybe I can just go and put that in. Yes, it doesn't have that. It just has the albedo height. Let me go and add one in here. So I'll make a vector 3 here. And then I'll make a multiply node. And then essentially this can go into here. And then that can go into here. And this is then our color value. So I suppose by default we're going to make it white. And then this goes into the base color from here. And then this, there's no change here, but if we do want to make it, I don't know, more blue or whatnot, then we would see something. Yeah, perfect. Perfect. So in order for me to adjust that, I'll convert that to parameter and I'll call that one base tint perhaps. And that is that. And then I need to go and find, there we go, base tint, perfect. So if I wanted to make that darker, eventually we should actually see it doing that. Maybe I can't see that yet because Unreal Engine reckons we need to rebuild the landscape. Oh, let's do that then. Build something about landscape. Build all landscape. Good. We should see this immediately, but I don't see it at all. Am I tweaking the right landscape then? Oh no, there it is. Now it's got it. Now it's got it. Now it's got it. Maybe it doesn't do a live update here. That's possible. There, might just blend in a little better. Separates the rocks a little more. Now it looks like a muddy green. Maybe I went over the top a little bit. Let's back it up a tiny bit. Tiny bit less green and gungy. There, middle ground. I like it. Fake grass like indoor football fields. Yes, that's a good idea. So, what else? I'm tempted to try painting these wooden logs with foliage because I do like that. I do like that. So I'll leave these here, and then there's just, you know, driftwood lying around. Let's try it out. Let's see how it goes. Maybe actually let's go and do a test somewhere on the back here so that we can easily erase it. I'll go and put, I'll go and do the background foliage. I'll go on that layer. And find it. Okay, there they are. Foliage. You go into here. Yes, that might be a bit too dense, but what a nice effect, huh? What a nice effect. I'm just thinking, have I got something enabled that I wasn't supposed to enable here? Jay's tar pit, that's right. Exactly right. Yeah, let me go and switch that off. Move it around a little bit more predictable for me. Nice. You can see how you can make really exciting, quick adventure worlds with that. So 100 might be too much. Let's try 1. Yeah, there we go. That's nice. That's very nice. If I make that just scattered around, this is great. Driftwood. Now we give it a bit more, give it that 90-degree angle here, and we give it a size, like a scaling variation, 0.5 to 1. 0.5 to 2 maybe. Ha! Do you know what? 0.2 to 2, and then it doubles up as branches. Is this cool or what? This is so funky. So I'll go and clear the area again of all the foliage there is. It is so much fun to just play around with this. This is the game, I'm telling you. This is the game. It's not about getting anything done. It's just playing in it. That's cool. Right, exactly. Like the driftwood you can find on the beach after a storm. That's exactly right. Also, the trick is to not overdo it, which is very easy, you know. Because now we'll be spending a lot of time building stuff we're probably not going to see, but I'm okay with that because, you know. Here's our hero area, and maybe we want to be a bit more careful with that. Or, you know, maybe not. I don't know. I've been thinking we also have these fences. I'm thinking maybe there can be just a bit like in that Bob Ross painting where he goes, maybe there's a fence just coming in from the side. This is how I feel. Maybe we can just do that. A fence. Nobody really knows where it goes or what it separates. It doesn't matter. Yeah, let's do that. Let's bring in a fence. I like it. So this is really nice. I'm very chuffed about this. I think the fence, I may have to go and puzzle this together from pieces, and so that it works here on the side. Yeah, like our manual tree stumps, we can probably, well, that can stay there. Yeah, let's see if I can build that fence. I think we have a whole fence section here. Oh, there's also blueprints here. Was there not? No, there weren't. No, I'm making it up. Fence construction, fences merged. Fences merged. This is a good fence. Let me just go and assemble it, and then we'll group it, and then we'll put it in the right spot. So this, Control G, that could be fence 1. Yeah, just like Bob. The fence, nobody really knows what it does. We'll see if we can frame it in there. Maybe there's a sheep behind the fence. The art is back. Good kit bashing, right? Yes, it's all from one kit really. It's the meadow environment set. Really nice. And we have a camera set up, have we not? Did we not have? There it is. So we have a tentative camera lined up with, yeah, I think this, oh, there we go. This is our camera. So good thing I have some leeway in the fence operation here. But I think that might look nice. And then the moment we go and do this animation, it will see that the light is changing. So that's going to be the main selling point. That's something we're gonna have to try to work out, how to best animate not just the light, but also then the sun and the moon position. Yeah, maybe it's time to do that now. Yeah, this we want to slow down. I want to make sure this we're going to get that nice light, and then, you know, the moon and the star. So I think the moon we're also going to see. If not, we're certainly going to make that happen. Bit of a LUT later. It's going to look nice and dandy. I think one last thing before we do that, let me just go find a bench so that we can replace the cube and also save, you know, good idea. Let's do that. Save and then bring in the bench. So this is our shot. Let me go and put that to 2 then. Quicksell bridge, come on. Let me be logged in. Yes, I'm logged in. All right, this is good. I think a bench. I have downloaded one recently, but they're a little bit Spartanic. I'm more thinking like a park bench would be good. And maybe they don't have that, because these are a little bit too rustic here. And this one might be a bit too... Oh, that's a table. It's not even a bench. Ah, this is the bench. I'm almost looking for something... I'm more looking for a classic park bench, you know. Brian is probably busy doing this. Old wooden bench. That looks more like a bench we can use, even if we just use 2 of those together to make 1 bench. That might be nice. Let me do that. At nanite quality. Come on, let's do it. Old wooden bench. It's his day off. Exactly. Good point. From the Medieval Village collection. Nate! How you doing, buddy? Yes, why not a new bench? Curious. Good point. Did I say add? Has it happened yet? Is it working on it? What do I know? How's Mr. Nate today? This fine Sunday. Ultra Sky. Ultra Sky is already in. Oh, the Ultra Dynamic Sky. Oh, okay, that's what you mean. Do I have a link open on that? I don't think I have. No, Brian's going to find it. I'm sure he's going to find it. If not, there's also going to be a link in the description. I've totally been slacking up on that. Thank you for asking, Nate. Doing well, doing well. Having my second coffee of the day. And just bringing in old wooden benches into the scene that hopefully is going to look super awesome. Let's see. So this is the bench in question. Oh, are we tied to? Yeah, we're tied to that. So I'm almost thinking that one bench by itself wouldn't be big enough. So I'm kind of thinking of a bench like this. There. Yeah. Let's call it the hero bench, because that is what it feels like it is. It may be a bit too small for what we needed, but maybe we can go and make it bigger. Does it need to be bigger? Cube. I don't want to delete him. I'm just going to go put him out. Yeah, it's almost like, since the bench is the hero, it needs to be a bit This will be a bit bigger. Cube agrees. Yeah. Oops. It's rickety. What's happened to the bench, man? That is totally not what I meant. It's so rickety. But I mean, hey, it is an old bench, so... May even... I'm not a big fan of it being a group for adjustment. Let me see if I can tweak it in Blender and just make it the bench of my dreams. Let me see if I can do that. So let's ungroup that first. Then we'll go delete this bench, and then this here. Let's see where it is. So first I'll save it. That's scandalous, Nate. That's scandalous. Thank you, Brian. I don't know if this is going to work, but we can't browse to the source file here, but I can certainly go to Asset Actions and Export. And I'll call this J's Tweaks, just so keep it together. FBXs, and this is that. Perfect. Collision we don't want. Morph targets we don't have. Local time, sure man, perfect. So I'm gonna see if I can go and just do this geometry tweak inside Blender and then just import the whole thing again. It shouldn't change the UV mapping. Oh yeah, where was that now? I forgot the path. This is where that was. Perfect. And not animation, and that's all good. Aha, perfect. So that's that, and it's not a skeletal. No, good stuff. So this is what the original scan looks like from Megascans. And if I just go and Shift D and X, do that. And then RZ180, do that. And then just GY, do that. Maybe even SY like that, GY like that. So there's a little bit of inconsistent life in there. Perfect. Do we mind that these things intersect a little bit? Well, they barely do. There. And also, I'm thinking, that's the other thing, because it's old. I'll just call this one the left part and the other one the right part. I don't know if that's accurate, but it's going to be, you know, one part and the other. So, whoops, man. Perfect. Control I to invert. Right, assign, select. There we go. So the point is that I can now go and select my bits and pieces back. That's the, you know. The Humble Mega Bundle is still going. Yes, good point. That's, you know, there's a lot of good stuff in there. I'm glad you picked it up. I'm glad you picked it up. And look at Mr. Nate. 29 months as a Star Crew member. Thank you so much, Nate. That is indeed congratulations. Yes, we should celebrate your 30th, you know. I like it. Possibly, Tug, that's a possibility. Yeah, there's so much, isn't there? There's just so much. I'm thinking if I just do that, and then I'll do like that, and then I'll just use a little bit of proportional editing, and then I'll just go GZ, because, you know, maybe not like that, but you get the idea. Just a little bit of, it's seen better times, you know. It's rickety. I'm even thinking perhaps one part connected only. One part of the bench might be more crooked than the other. I mean, what do we know? We've only just arrived at this place. We can't tell. Now that's the kind of old bench I was thinking about. So export that out. Bench more crooked. Is that how you spell that? Crooked, and we don't want the animation and armature. I don't think we have. But there, let's see if we can comfortably import that in. So re-import with new file. Bench more crooked. Check it out. No, yes. I don't know. Reset to FBX. Was that a good idea? Yes. Look at that. It's worked. Now we have a crooked old bench. That is good. Now we just need to put it in the proper spot here. And see if that lines up. It's not even straight. I like it. I like it. Still a hero object. Okay, got the bench sorted. Jay, that took you 15 minutes. It's so youthful. Yes, exactly, exactly. Hey 19, like in the old Steely Dan song. Yes, I like it. Just call me Lester the Nightfly. Okay, back to animation then. There's something I want to test, and since this is our test animation for this, let me see if I can do that as well. So I think that needs to be in its own folder. Camera. And then I'm gonna not do the weather. I won't track the weather for now. There is a way to animate the sun independently from the time of day. So this disk here, I think there is a way to animate this manually, but I don't know how to do it. So let's see if we can figure this out together. I would imagine it's on the sky blueprint, and we did find it earlier. Julia just bought this yesterday, which I thought was just such a cool idea because it's just so funky. If I go and look for sun, intensity, radius, sun highlight radius. Oh wow, really? That's exciting. Simulate the real sun. There's something about animate. Animate something. Animate. King Villain! Wow! Look at that! Second super chat donation. Buddy, this is awesome! Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Welcome back. I'm so glad you're back. The King Villain is back. How exciting. It right, Tug, I think so too. It just totally adds there. It adds itself in there. And look, did you see this wonderful little bench that we've made here? Cute little bench with some happy little friends. Had to do some Blender tweaks on it, but hey, this is now a bench that just looks so at home here, doesn't it? It just looks so at home, and it's crooked. We've made it crooked. Beautiful. If we wanted to make that a bit darker, I think the Quixel materials, they have that sort of channel in there. It might be a little light. Yeah, it might be a little light. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. This here, material instance. You go and just do a little click on here and move that there. And then we say albedo tint. That's the one. Albedo tint, just make it darker. That already has, it gives it that rustic feel. Or you can tint the color if we wanted to have it, browner or standing out somehow. So super, super cool. Very nice. We can also get there's a decal you can put on. That's another nice idea, as if it's been severely weathered. Totally getting sidetracked with the hero objects. So much you can do. That's just so much you can do. So, but I really wanted to have a look at animate before I get completely sidetracked. It had something to do with the sun. Let me know if you remember what that is. Manually position the sun target. I think that is what I wanted to do. Manually position the sun target. And if we do that, yeah, perfect. So I can still move the timeline, but it doesn't. So the time of day now still animates, but it doesn't take the sun position from that value anymore. So that might be better for me in the animation, because then I have full control of where the sun rises and goes down. Sun target, is it here somewhere? Sun icon. Sun and the moon target. I don't really know how that works. Is this the sun target? Does that do anything? No, that's not it. Sun icon, is that it? No, that's not it either. So we don't have anything called target in this, do we? We've got the sun root, that could be it. But that's not it either. Moon, root, sky, atmosphere, sun. Maybe it's as easy as that. No, sun it isn't either. That doesn't do that. Exposure, cube map, static clouds, sun arrow. Does that do a thing? No, it doesn't do that. Compass. No, I don't think I can work it out without reading the documentation. Control Alt for the regular environment light. Does that work on? Oh yes, I remember what you mean. Yes, I'm not sure if that is ultra dynamic sky compatible. To be honest, I know what you mean. Control L and then we do that, but I don't think it works now because ultra dynamic sky overrides that. So there are no environment lights as per, like no default environment lights in here anymore. Well, I'm glad we tried because that means I'm gonna go back to the manual way until I can work it out. So now we're just back to animating the time of day. I think that was good. That was good as well. So let's go and animate the whole thing then. Perhaps we can just use this sequencer for that, I suppose. So let's say we start at where did we start last? We could start at midnight. If the light looks like this, that would be nice. And then try it over a whole period of whatever this is, 40 seconds. And we go to 23.99 here. So that's a whole day. And then we'll see what we want to pick out there. Because I think the positions are working okay. That is nice. I love to see more reflection of the moon over the lake. So I'll see if I can do something nifty there. I'm also thinking birds in the sky, and I'm also thinking particle effects that suggest something along the lines of dust. And fog, of course. I want to have a little bit of fog there, but that's something else. There's another product I want to use for that. Shame these targets don't disappear in game view, but hey, that's not bad. Do we need something floating on the lake? Not a dead body, but something, something else, something better looking. Do you know, Tug, if you do decide to pick it up, you're not going to be disappointed. You can also put it on your wish list. Ultra Dynamic Sky. It's the super one-click easy lighting solution. There's another one that I've also just bought that doesn't integrate great with animations though. It's called Easy Sky V2. Easy Sky V2. That's also not bad. And I think we'll put these into linear mode here. Yes, that one is also good. But in my experience, the integration with the level sequences doesn't work great. I do like the shadows here. I do like the shadows. There's one thing about cloud shadows that I just want to minimize. So I can boost all this up in post-production a little bit later. That'll work. I want to play around with the fog a little bit without losing the dramaticness in the sky. So when we have something like this, it's not actually, the sky doesn't look great. So at that point, I'd like clouds to be there that that move really fast. And then when we come to about here, I want the clouds to be gone so that we see the whole effect of the sun. So let me go to the bathroom and I'll be right back, and then we'll see if we can make that happen. The days really do fly by. Yes, I totally agree. Just like in real life. So much fun. I think the linear passage of time, though, I think I prefer that to what we had yesterday when I experimented with it being accelerated in the boring parts. Yeah, I'm thinking, let's see if we can get the wispy cloud cover up here. So as it gets light, I'm thinking this is maybe when clouds could set in. So I like this. This is dramatic. And then I think that is now on the weather. Let me go track the weather. Hello, mate. No, that's not what I mean. That's not what I mean. Just move it in a different, that's the spirit. Good stuff. Weather. Track ultra dynamic weather. Check. And time of day we're good on. And this we want to have cloud coverage. I think that's what we want to animate, isn't it? We can't animate that, can we? Oh, we can animate that. Oh, we can. Oh, this is exciting. I've tried it, Tug. I've tried Unreal Engine 5.3. It's, I mean, it's a preview at the moment. And what I've noticed is that in the retargeter, you can't edit the source pose anymore for the asset you're retargeting. The edit button is just gone. So I don't know what's, you know, don't know what's going on there. Maybe they're revamping the system. I just think, you know, I'm already scared. I did tell them. I'm not sure that they're gonna do anything about it. But yeah, retargeter no longer has an edit button for the pose. No edit for you. It works with DAS to Unreal though. David has put out an update for that. So if we can switch between this and that, I mean, that would be another nice trick. Let's see if we can animate between clear skies and foggy. That is cool. So let's do that. Then I don't have to fiddle with parameters. Oh, these are they booleans? Yeah, no, they're booleans, aren't they? Technically. So if we start with clear sky, and then we can't really... What happens if at that point, how does the interpolation work to cloudy? Is it just going to switch? Or is it going to... Are they just going to go and come in somehow? Yeah, that's not exactly the effect I was after. But it technically does work. And then from here, can I go back to... Can I then go to foggy? Oh my god, that is animatable. And then we just let Lumen catch up on this. Cloudy, and then we just go plonk to foggy. Yeah, that doesn't look great. But I could render it out multiple times and then do the fade. So ideally, I was just going to use these parameters here and deal with those. Well, that's good to know that we can animate even that property. This is why this is such a good product, you know. Ultra dynamic weather. So if I go and animate these two properties here, and go to here, and then I go to kind of here, and then I want cloud coverage to be, I don't know, more. Does that work? It doesn't, does it? Oh, do I then have to? Yes. I have to go custom, don't I? Custom, you in here? It's totally not in here. That was in the other one. It's the other weather plugin. And then at this point, like fog 10, does it even... Does it do that then? So technically, you'd imagine there's more clouds in the sky, but that's not how that works. Why not? I mean, the values are changing, but the plugin isn't exactly... It helps to read the manual, Jay. It helps to read the manual. Rain, snow, we don't want to... Dust, we don't want to know yet. Shared. Season. Ooh. We can put the season in. Use UDS date. My god, that's crazy. Random weather variation. I think this isn't for cinematics though. This is for real time. Max wetness. My goodness. Wind debris. Lighting, sound effects, sound occlusion. Dynamic landscape. Oh wow. I think I've played with this. You can add some nodes to your current landscape and you'll then see puddles that interact with the weather. Very, very cool. Vitas, you're back. How's it going, buddy? Good to see you again. I'm just exploring Ultra Dynamic Sky and how to animate my cloud cover in and out. I'm thinking I might just use a post-production trick for that, because fog particles, oh nice. I don't think I can see anything yet, but so I'm thinking clear sky looks really good when we have this effect, right? We like the night, that is really good. And the moon set and the sunset, that looks good. And then the sunrise comes, and then the sky looks a little bit boring. So now I'd like to have these fast-moving clouds, but they're difficult to blend in animate, or I don't know how to do it. So I'm thinking, right, Rod? I'm glad you like it. So I'm thinking I can go and just render this twice. Like this looks really good, right? When the sun goes down and then we see that. So this looks good. I like that. So while it's got this boring blue sky, I can just go and put it to cloudy. something like that. And then I suppose cloud coverage is a bit much here, so let's go take that down. And the fast moving cloud, so this is also nice. Maybe it's a bit much. Can we put that even to less, something like that? No, see, it doesn't. I think that the values don't really acknowledge what I'm doing. But I think this is going to look nice as well. Then there's also Foggy is also very nice. So I'm thinking I might just render out a few passes and just leave the passage of the time of day, and then I just mix and match that in post-production. Like overcast is also not bad, but those are presets, so I had assumed they just go and change these values here, but they don't seem to do that. There's also rain, you know. Sandstorm, also not bad. I think that'll be too big, Rod. The easiest way to do this is export them as HDRI. That you can do, and then just use that HDRI in your target application. Or even easier, bring your characters into here and just render the characters in the scene inside Unreal Engine. That's probably the better approach. Sandstorm, snow. Snow will have to work with snow coverage. Snow! Not bad. So what does this look at? What's it look like at night then? Do we have night snow? Yeah, so then of course the whole sky is occluded with stuff, so we don't want to see that. Or does it? I mean, it's like a nice black and white scene now. Well, exciting. But I think that's post-production is probably the way to go then. And we're just having also not bad. I think we're just having the clear skies and then the either cloudy or just overcast, I think. Oh no, partly cloudy, that was it. Partly cloudy. That was it, partly cloudy with those things that are blended together in post-production. I think then, so let me try to grab a particle effect that we've looked at last time that has some birds in the sky. So I think since the wind's going that way, I think I want some birds going from left to right. I think at least during the day. Let's see if we can make that happen. So it's coming together. I do like that. Even partly cloudy during the night. What does that look like? That isn't bad either. That isn't bad either. Maybe we just use partly cloudy. What does that look like during the day? Not bad, perhaps. Yeah, and then at this point, yeah, maybe I'll just leave that. And then at this point, I'll switch to the clear sky so I have a separate sun track. And I do like the night sky to be completely clear, actually. I do like that. Man, with great power come great responsibilities, right? So much choice! Yeah, so regular animations can be blended, and you can also do mix several cameras together. But I think I might just do that in Premiere, Tug. that's probably easier. Just render this out twice and then put it into Premiere. So partly cloudy for now. Let me go and open up another project and then migrate the particle effects into this here, which is from the Humble bundles. Like Humble, no, that's not it. It's here, isn't it? It's two, actually, two. One is Easy Fog. I'm going to go and add that to my project here. This is a really cheap product, $9 I think, and it has animated fog cards, and I'm going to try those out in the distance there. But then the other one, that's a project from the Humble Treasures, I think that's it. This is a project I've made already. I'm just going to take the particle effects out from that. I think that's the medieval village set. Rod, wait until you see the particle effects. This is really, really cool. Yes, skip Blender, go straight to Unreal Engine, Rod. Like, there's just so much cool stuff in there. I can try that. I don't know, Vitas. That's a very good question. I know that there's several options. You can either use volumetric clouds or simple clouds. But I suppose volumetric clouds, they would suggest there's a voxel size somewhere. You're right. So good call. I think it's also, yes, I've seen a setting in which I can switch between real-time performance goodness and cinematic performance. So I'll see if I just switch it to cinematic, that might look better. Where was this now? Medieval Town, that's it. Medieval Town VFX. And then there's emitters, that's not it. Systems, that's it. Systems, that's the whole folder. Migrate all that. And we've used it in the Venice animation, which was really nice. Put that here. The easiest way to make birds fly in the sky. I'd like to have a system like that for shooting stars as well. We'll see. Something else to make your brain implode, yes. Well, there's only so many hours in the day, isn't there? So I totally hear you, Rod. So this is now in Medieval Town, VFX, Systems, and there's dust here, so that might be something we can figure out. Here's some dust. Oh, that's kind of cartoon dust. That's not what I meant. Even though that might look funky in the night. That's not what I meant. Dust small. Let's try dust small. Does that look better? Might do. This might be nice. Somewhere. Don't know where yet, but let me just leave it here because I think that might be kind of a nice little gadget here. I'll just leave it here so that we don't forget. Put it straight on the bench, maybe. Can you imagine a little fire burning here as well? That's nice. So this is definitely a contender. NS Fly 1 Furnace Flames. What's Fly? That could be what we're looking for. Might not be. Maybe these are just flies. These are actually just flies. So if you had something that dances around. I might just put these into. Oh, there we go. They're all Niagara actors. Yeah, I'm not sure about the flies. Maybe we don't need the flies. Forget the flies. God rays, leaves. Oh, yes, leaves. I was thinking leaves might be a nice idea. See what they look like. Are you leaving around? I don't see the leaves. You see any leaves? No leaves for you. Oh yes, that is a great idea, Tug. Yes, Rod, have a look at that. So sometimes what you should get into the habit of is every month go to the Epic store and pick up the monthly freebies. Even if you don't use Unreal Engine for the next 5 years, don't worry about it. Just put them in your library, grab them while you can. Ultra Dynamic Sky and this Meadow pack that I'm using here, those were free 2 years ago. And at that point, I knew nothing about Unreal Engine. Well, I was beginning to get into Unreal Engine, but I wouldn't have known how to use these things in a meaningful way. Now I do, and I'm glad I picked them up, and they're so valuable. Leaves falling. What's that? Let's have a look. Does this do anything exciting? I don't see leaves falling. Nothing's falling. Forget that. Seagulls, seagull vortex, seagull flock, seagull fountain. Splashes, seagull fountain. What is that? Let's have a look. Oh, that is actually just a fountain. No, we don't want to do that. That's Seagulls 1. Let's have a look. What is this? So there we go. They just need to fly the other way in the sky. That is perfect. Yeah, so this and then we just need to turn you guys around. That's really all we need. Look at them go. Well, actually, we're probably in the right position there. We just need to turn you around. Maybe a bit too far away now. Yes, and the other thing that you should do is, like Tuck says, the US flying to the things now. That's not great. Yes, a little bit higher, like so, maybe. I don't want you guys to fly into the water. That's not good. I think just higher in the sky. That was good. Yeah. So the other thing, like Tuck says, get into the habit of checking out some of the Humble bundles, because they have so much cool stuff that'll come in handy. It's tricky to find the right position on the particle emitters here. But I think we're kind of getting somewhere. I think maybe the rotation isn't quite there yet. I think they need to go and I think the amount is good though. I don't want to have too many seagulls. And we may have to switch them on and off, so maybe they're not going to fly 24/7. That might just be crazy. Or maybe they will fly 24/7, I don't know. Would that be ridiculous to have 24/7 flying birds? Might also be a little few too many. That's what we hear from you, Art, all the time. I'm going to reboot my system. Man, there's buffering. Maybe it's the system, you know. But hey, good luck with it. I'm glad you're here. Sporadically in and out, Art. Good luck with it. Yeah, I think if we start just spawning them a little higher, then we see a little less of them. Oops. But they also don't keep flying into the ground here, so that might be beneficial. That might be good for us, because I think if there's too many, that might just be bad, you know. What are we thinking of the fireflies then here? They are kind of cute. I just don't know if I like them in this particular spot here. Maybe they can be over here. Or they can also just be larger, maybe. Oops. I don't know. It's nice, but I still think there's something missing to make it like wow. It could just be the color correction. I don't know. Yes, let's hope nobody notices their seagulls. We can always color them in. That'll be good. Right. Yes, I get you. Yeah. Yes, I'm maybe, you know, maybe the birds isn't such a good idea. Let's go switch them off. I like the idea of just, you know, it being a cool showpiece for the light, rather than, you know, it being filled with distractions. So yeah, I agree with you there. Hello. Where are my manipulators gone here? I can't see the bits and pieces at the top anymore. Oh, it's because I'm in the sequencer. Duh. Because I'm playing something. Yes, I'm not sure. I feel there's something missing. I might just put it on the proverbial bench for a few days, and, you know, see where we go with this. So I think it's nice. There's just something, you know, a little bit missing. So on one hand, you could feature the lake more, and then delve into the reflections of these things. Could also be, you know, we could have a slow camera animation where this essentially goes and moves towards something that's interesting. I was going to have a look at the fog plane, so I have 5 minutes. I can totally do that. We're going to have a look at fog, so that'll be kind of during the day, I suppose. If we had something... The clouds, they might also be a bit too fast. Let me go make them a bit slower. Cloud speed multiply. Yeah, let's make them a bit slower. There we go. Fog, right. So Williams fog planes might be something that could occlude some of the trees here. So the last 5 minutes, let me go and try that out. So this thing is called Easy Fog, And it is literally as easy as it looks. You drag in a plane object like that, and then ideally you're gonna find it, you know where that is, and then you can go and turn it around. Any which way you like, maybe like this way. And then you can go and scale them up and down as you need them. And the cool thing about that is it's not volumetric fog. They're literally just fog planes. And you think, yeah, well, but that's like dirt cheap, isn't it? Yeah, also very cheap to render. So the funky thing is that they're not just fog planes that have a value to adjust your opacity and all that. They have animated normals, which means they look like animated fog. And they have all kinds of cool adjustments, like fog density. 0 is off, but like 0.1 gives it that immediate, you know, this immediate something there. See if I can find out where the animation thing is. I think it's just a tick box. I did read about it. I forgot how to use it. Are there wind controls? Was that it? Yes, there we go. So if you add the wind controls, it does actually animate the normal, and then you see fog effect. So let me try that out just to have a little extra something here. Because it'll also give reflection over the river. And we'll just go and grab a few of those and set them all to, I should have done that before I started duplicating them. Oops. Foggy, I like it, and it almost looks like there's also fog over the lake. Dude, where's, oh, there we go. Fog. That should go maybe in its own folder. And we're calling that Easy Fog. Hey, not bad. More animated stuff. Subtle, but you know, super cheap to render. Tug likes the birds. Okay, Tug likes the birds. Let's see what happens if we put the birds in with the slower moving bits and pieces. Let me just go put this in a folder and we'll call this particles or VFX. So leaves, I don't actually see the leaves. Here are the seagulls. I'm gonna have to render this out and see it with proper color correction. Oh, okay, so in the night, wow, we need to go and do something about the fog in the night. Yeah, so that needs to come down perhaps a little bit. Also, perhaps the direction of the fog isn't quite correct. That needs to go the other way, doesn't it? Yeah, that needs to go the other way when we come to the night, but I think we can animate that, right? I think William was kind enough to make those things available. There's wind direction, so yes, wind speed X and Y, so we can go and turn that around. I think -200. That's not that. Was it this one here? Nope. Sorry. Whoops. No, don't do that. I was going to make it more visible there. Does it go the right way now? Yeah, I think now it's going up. I think that's what we needed to do. Wind X speed, that's the one. So wind X speed, let's make that the other way. Wind X speed -200. And we'll see what that looks like during the night. Because man, yes, it's now going the right way, isn't it? And this one, yeah, that just needs to be less. There. So many forest fire, yes. So many parameters to play with. But hey, I think it's coming together. I think I can see this working. I'd like to go and render this out with proper color correction, and then we'll see what. Yeah, that's just too much at night. That's clearly too much at night. So we'd have to go and I don't know what's happening here with this guy. If we just pick this and we go at night, I think 0.01 is probably enough. So yeah, so 1/10 of that, and then during the day we can use 0.1, because during the night that's just too much. So 0.01 during the night. Yeah. We'll see how that goes. Well, my friends, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you being here. There's just so many little dials that I can fiddle with here. It's crazy. So I don't know what we're going to do next time. I'm going to leave this for a couple of weeks and just think about it, see if I can grab some more inspiration, see what it looks like with the color correction, make it more look more dramatic. And I'm hoping we're going to go and see one another next Saturday at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Until then, have a wonderful rest of the day. Have a fantastic week. Be healthy, be happy, and I hope I'll see you next time. Take care. Bye-bye.